Welcome to EPC News by HaleForm. For episode 3, we're heading over to Indonesia to check out the Abadi LNG project. It's a massive undertaking, and it could seriously reshape the energy map of Asia.
And just a quick note, this explainer is brought to you by our partners at HaleForm Technology Solutions, who are real leaders in driving project efficiency.
All right, let's start with just one massive number: 9.5 million tons. That's the target for liquefied natural gas, LNG, that this single project is aiming for every single year. So you gotta ask, what kind of engineering marvel does it even take to pull that off?
So, yeah, we're talking about the Abadi LNG project. And look, this is not just another industrial facility. The Indonesian government has officially called it a national strategic project. That means it's a huge deal. Basically a cornerstone for the country's entire long-term energy plan.
Okay, let's just walk through how this whole thing works, because it's pretty incredible. The journey starts way out, miles offshore, with something they call SURF. That stands for the subsea equipment, umbilicals, risers, and flow lines. Basically, all the gear that pulls natural gas from the Abadi field deep under the seabed. From there, the gas shoots up to this colossal floating vessel, an FPSO, or Floating Production Storage and Offloading Unit. Think of it as a floating factory that does the first round of processing. But it doesn't stop there. The gas then gets sent on a 180-kilometer trip through an export pipeline all the way to a brand new, purpose-built onshore LNG plant. It is a massive, incredibly complex chain. So who's running the show? Well, the operator is Japan's Inpex, holding a majority 65% stake. And they've teamed up with two other regional energy giants, Indonesia's own state-owned company, Pertamina, and Malaysia's Petronas. When you see these three major Asian players coming together, it really tells you just how important this project is, and it's got some serious financial muscle behind it. Now, the big news, and really the reason we're talking about this right now, is that they've officially kicked off what's called the FEED phase. This is the crucial milestone. It's what takes a project like this from just being plans on paper to getting a final investment decision and, eventually getting built. So what exactly is FEED? Well, it stands for Front-End Engineering and Design. And honestly, the best way to think about it is like creating the master blueprint for a giant skyscraper. It's that super critical phase where every single technical detail, every material, and the final cost, it's all meticulously figured out. For a project this massive, getting the FEED phase right is, it's everything. And believe me, this isn't just a small step. Inpex has now officially awarded the contracts for all 4 of the major FEED packages. We're talking the offshore FPSO, the subsea surf gear we mentioned, that super long gas export pipeline, and the massive onshore plant. So across the board, the wheels are officially in motion. But here's where it gets really interesting. For the most complex and, let's be honest, the most expensive part of this whole thing, that onshore plant, Inpex is using a really clever strategy. You could almost call it an engineering showdown. It's a strategy called dual FEED. So instead of just picking one engineering firm, Inpex hired 2 separate world-class groups to design the exact same facility at the same time. They're now competing head-to-head, trying to create the most innovative and cost-effective design. Whichever group comes up with the best plan, they win the massive final contract to actually build the plant. It's a brilliant move. And the teams involved here, it's a real who's who of global engineering. On one side, you've got a group led by the Japanese firm JGC and the French giant Technip. And competing against them, a team led by America's KBR, working with Korea's Samsung E&A and the major Indonesian construction firm PT Adikarya. We're talking about some of the biggest, most respected names in the business, all fighting to create that winning blueprint. But this project is about more than just a cool competition or massive production numbers. It's also being designed with a really clear vision for the future of energy. They're trying to balance this incredible scale with genuine sustainability. Let's put that 9.5 million ton number back into perspective for a second. The output from this one single project is enough to cover 10% of Japan's entire annual need for imported LNG. That is an absolute game changer for Asia's energy markets. And this facility isn't just making LNG to ship overseas.
The plan is also to supply about 150 million cubic feet of gas every single day directly into Indonesia's domestic pipeline network, which is huge for its own energy security. And on top of all that, it's going to produce up to 35,000 barrels a day of valuable condensate. That's a type of light crude oil. It really is a multifaceted energy powerhouse.
So what about the environmental side? Well, this is critical. A key feature, baked in right from this early design stage, is an integrated carbon capture and storage facility, or CCS. This tech is designed to capture CO2 emissions right from the process and store them safely underground. This allows the Abadi project to market its LNG as low carbon, which is a huge advantage in today's energy world.
So as you see all these different pieces coming together, it's clear the Abadi project isn't just shaping its own future, it's potentially shaping the future of how energy projects get built all across Asia. There's this great quote from Jay Ibrahimover at KBR that really nails the project's dual mission. He talks about helping Indonesia achieve its national energy security objectives, but doing it sustainably. And that balance right there is at the absolute heart of this project's design and why it's getting so much attention globally. And all of this really leaves us with one big question, doesn't it? We all know the world's demand for energy is only going up. So are these massive, super complex, multinational projects like Abadi, the ones with sustainability and carbon capture built right in from day one, are they going to become the new blueprint for our energy future? I guess the answer to that question is something we're going to see unfold over the next decade. Hey, if you learned something new in this explainer, do us a favor and hit that like button, and make sure you subscribe to EPC News for more on the amazing projects shaping our world.
This explainer was brought to you by HaleForm Technology Solutions. Thanks for tuning in.